Finding off-market deals means knowing people before they want to sell. So I'm about to share 3 things to expand your network and be everyone's first choice. I've been listening to How to Talk to Anyone, and the author gave away the secrets of politicians in that book. So anytime you're at a networking event, meeting people, make sure to write down a specific detail about their life. When you follow up in the next few weeks, ask them specifically how that detail is going. Everybody will be delighted that you remembered something so small because very few people in their life take the time to do that for them. Add 2 to 3 people to your network each week through events, write down a specific detail about them in every conversation, and follow up on it every few weeks or every few months. And that's how you expand your network and become everyone's first choice. So when you're thinking about becoming everyone's first choice, there may be a couple of questions that come to mind. A, what are the types of things that I need to be writing down? B, what is the purpose of my networking? Like, who do I target? And then C, how often do I need to follow up? And so first, what is the kind of content of the stuff that you're writing down? You really want to be looking at getting details that they care about. It doesn't have to be anything specific, but it should probably be in the major aspects of their life: family, faith, friends, fitness, and finance. Or in one of the big 3, health, wealth, relationships. So you can think about in those types of categories. Typically, if you're networking, it's for some sort of professional thing, and professionals tend to have goals for their life. And if they have goals, it's going to be around one of the major aspects of their life. So if you figure out some of their goals around their faith, family, fitness, finance, or friends, or health, wealth, relationships, when you start to figure that out, you start to see how you can add value. If you know they're trying to get here, but they need this, and you can provide what they need, that's a way to add value. Another way is just intimate details about themselves. Say if they have a favorite food, or a favorite play, or a favorite song, or whatever it may be, you write that down like, hey, I was listening to insert song the other day and I thought of you. How are you doing? How are the kids? It's those types of messages that say, hey, we're friends. This isn't just a business shtick. And I think a lot of people have heard the term, your network is your net worth. And of course, that's the case because dollars always come from other people's pockets. But not only does money come from other people's pockets, but opportunities come from other people's pockets. You're probably not going to get anything done in business without having other people involved. So those friendships, those relationships can really take you far when it comes to A, gathering dollars, either raising funds for a business, or getting paid as an employee, or figuring out who to pay as your employees. All these things have other people involved in them. So your network is your net worth because the quality of your relationships will probably reflect the quality of your business dealings. So when you're thinking about what kind of details to write down, always think of the major areas of their life, or write down something really specific that they care a lot about. Do they have a hobby? Do they have a passion? Like, you could talk to me about anime and we would be friends, but not just anime because I'm also into business. So anime could be the kind of starter conversation, and then any cross dealing between anime characters and business would be a really good topic to talk to me about, because I'm like, a lot of the character and determination that I've seen has actually come from anime, and the protagonists in anime going the extra mile for the people they love. So that's one way you could talk to me in a unique way. It's like, hey, did you watch the new Jujutsu Kaisen season? I really loved when Itadori did this, and it made me think of this in my business, and this is how I applied it to my business. What about you? What do you think about that? And I'd be like, oh, that's a really cool parallel, dude. This dude is hitting with me. Like, we are like-minded, right? So yeah, that's just some of the stuff that you can do when you are trying to connect with people. Figure out A, what they care about, and then B, what are some of the goals and the major aspects of their life. Write that down and follow up with it consistently. When you think about who you connect with, think about the vehicle of value in which you are interacting with people. So if you are a real estate agent, you're probably not going to network with somebody who, say, is trying to No, I don't know. What's something completely unrelated to real estate? Get into the tech world. You might do that. You're not going to network with a tech recruiter for the purposes of getting a tech job. Like, you might network with a tech recruiter because you target people coming into Austin to work at Tesla and you want them to be your clients, but you're not going to target a tech recruiter with the purpose of getting a job. And so it kind of influences not how you follow up, because again, the follow-up is always about the other person, but it influences the exchange of value that can happen, the types of relationships you're going after. You're not going to go to a whole bunch of tech events if you're trying to syndicate multifamily real estate. Instead, you're going to go to people who go to events that are trying to put capital into multifamily real estate, and you're going to network there, and you're going to build relationships there. And that's some of the stuff that I am thinking about when I'm networking, because when I first got into Austin, I was trying to build up my network and I was just networking with everybody. But what I realized was there were people who kind of wanted to do business with me, but there was no way for me to exchange value. So then I started the podcast, but the podcast wasn't real value in the sense that there wasn't a continued method to exchange dollars. And so when you get to the point where you can exchange dollars with people, it's one step closer to intertwining lives. And so you continue to follow up with people, and it can be worth your time because you can extract value and give disproportionate value when you stay in your niche. For example, say I'm trying to broker real estate loans, and the people I'm networking with are commercial real estate owners. I'm not going to network with somebody who has never had a loan and never intends on getting a loan. I'm only going to build my network with people who are trying to get real estate loans. Similarly, stick with people in your vehicle of value. Never stray outside of it. Understand kind of the customer process or your relationship process. If I have a solid relationship with this person, what does that look like for my life and for my business? And you can map that out with all your friends, actually. You don't need to just focus on the couple business relationships you're trying to build. It's like, what's the purpose of the relationships in your life? And some people you should just be giving to. Some people you're probably going to be getting a little bit more from, and you might be paying them money to do that. And then others, it's like we're going to iron sharpening iron. But keep in mind, it's all within the same vehicle of value. You're not going to be a person who owns a hair salon in Austin and then go network with a car mechanic in Hawaii. Like, that's probably not going to do you a lot of good. So network with like-minded people in similar situations to you so that you can all rise together. And the last thing I kind of want to talk about is how often you should follow up. So we talked about what you should keep track of. We talked about who you should target, people who are like-minded in a similar field so that you can all improve together and add value to each other's lives, exchange value in the same vehicle of value. So if you're all in real estate, you can help each other out in real estate. If you're all in fixing up cars, you can help each other out there. If you're all in collectibles, you can help each other out there. But when you think about how often you should follow up, it's really what does staying top of mind look like in the industry? Do you need to follow up every 2 days to stay top of mind? Do you need to follow up every 2 weeks, every 2 months, once a quarter, once a year? What does staying top of mind look like? And then what are the different ways to stay top of mind? So yes, it's a phone call, but also what favors can you do for them? How can you add value to their life? How can you invite them to events? I think having some sort of regular event that you host and then calling them regularly and then trying to show up for everybody on your list 1 or 2 times per year. Obviously, your list gets huge at that point, so you might not be able to do it every year, but after 40 years of this, your list would get huge. However, it's important to build this network in business, which also speaks to the consistency of business. Like, when you're in the same industry for 40 years, it's a little bit easier to build the network than if you're in the industry for, say, 2 years, right? And so that's really what we have when it comes to the network. Write down the things that they like or the goals that they have for the major areas of their life. Network with like-minded people in a similar industry to you so that you can all improve together, sharpen each other's iron, together and stay top of mind. Follow up however regularly you need to in order to stay top of mind. That may look like a couple of weeks, may look like a couple of months, may look like once or twice a year, but kind of get a combination of follow-up activities, calls, an event you host, and showing up for them in 1 or 2 ways per year. That's what we got for you guys on the show. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you on the next one. And remember, we are a community of people judged not by our wealth, but by our impact.